to that long road, that journey to success. So often, we think of the world as the rule book, the decider of fate. We don't think of ourselves as that vehicle to success. And this story has a very unique way of uncovering that specific truth. We get every single dream, vision, idea in your life starts with a simple understanding that it's attainable, that you can make it real. That's the beginning of everything. Self-belief is the gatekeeper that stands between current and future. See, if you think of reality as these city walls you're living in, it's not crazy to think that there are going to be people that only know that existence within the walls, right? That's what they see, that's what most believe, it's how they live. It is only self-belief, confidence in something greater outside those walls, that opens the gate, that expands your reality. And if you don't believe anything good exists on the other side, why begin? If you don't think you're capable of getting there, why start?
Right.
And this formula is simple, right? Let's not overthink it. We only move towards outcomes that we believe to be possible. And that's more important than ability, skill set, strength. I mean, you name it. Believing in yourself trumps all that. Because the person with an inferior skill set, maybe an average natural talent, but they believe in something and they move towards it, they give everything for this idea, they know it to be true, will always beat the talented person that's unsure, that procrastinates, that has one foot in and one foot out. And if you don't believe in yourself, you're building a city on sand. Because I'll tell you what, great things, they're great for a reason. They're in rare supply, they're limited, which means not everyone can have them. Which means those who do have them have to fight for them, have to deal with being uncomfortable, have to give more, sacrifice more, pay a steeper price than the masses. And if you don't look in the mirror, stare yourself in the face and know you are one of those select few, what's going to happen when life kicks back? You'll fold. You'll resort back to what you know. You'll flee the battle for safety, security, and comfort. But when you know your movie ends at the top of the mountain, when you know at the end of the day you're going to cross a finish line or hold a trophy, your brain internalizes conflict differently. Very differently. For someone with self-belief, obstacles don't make you wonder if you should keep going. Because you already know you have to keep going. I mean, come on, you haven't arrived yet.
Yep.
There's still a road to travel. No, in this situation, obstacles simply prompt you to ask, how? How can I get through this? And that's the small discrepancy that changes everything. Because at some point, you'll look to your right and you'll look to your left and you'll find very few people get to the how question. They all stopped at if. I wonder if I can do this. I wonder if I'm capable. Well, they'll never know. They'll never see that sunset beyond those metaphorical city walls. Because they never truly believed in themselves. They never opened that gate. Look, I went through 16 years of education without a teacher or professor telling me, Eddie, 99% of life is just believing in yourself to figure challenges out as they come. To figure life out as it comes. That's it. Only X% make it through law school. Only Y% succeed at this and that. That's what you hear. But no, none of that matters. It's simple, it's simple, it's simple. Most of the world quits when things get challenging. If you don't, if you have the courage to believe and trust in yourself, you'll succeed. Why? Because you won't stop until you find a way. That's the power of self-belief. It's not quantum physics. It's not complex. You know, at one point, I didn't think I could make a living outside of a cubicle or office building. Then I saw others do it. And for the first time in my life, I believed it was possible. I changed my actions to support my beliefs, and here we are. At one point, I didn't think certain financial goals were reality. I didn't know about a free, flexible lifestyle. I wasn't aware of the type of relationships that would change my life. Why? Because they existed outside those city walls. I didn't believe they were real. I didn't believe in myself to create them, to make them in my own life. But with the change in belief comes a change in reality.
Amen.
You will always follow through on who you believe you are. So let's go back to that mirror visualization. At some point today, look at your reflection and think about nothing but what I'm about to tell you. Everything you need, you have. I promise you, you are equipped to change your life, the lives of everyone around you, and the world in which you exist. So take that back. Feel it, and never ask it again. From now on, the question is how. Your fate is not a coin flip, it's a puzzle. It's about arranging the pieces. And those two eyes looking back at you are more than capable of figuring that out. Ask simply, do you want it? And if yes, open that front door, take that first step, and inject yourself into a journey that will be unlike anything you've ever experienced before. A journey where you have the answers, the aptitude, and now the self-belief. And when you find yourself in the lowest of lows or the darkest of nights, find solace in that fact that that will be more than enough to get you to dawn.
You have just had me entry this a breakthrough.
This doctor's a little unconventional.
He's a miracle worker. You have to be careful not to enable unhealthy behavior. This keeps getting better and better and better and better. Are you comfortable with me cursing in our session? Please. You want some younger dogs. You want to prove that?
Okay. I don't know that.
As long as I have a ball in my hand, you'll lie. I know you're ready. I'm staying here. I got work to do. Work.
In God we trust.
How do you visualize the
In
road
God we
you're on?
trust. Ain't no other. One
With
God.
its twists and
In
turns,
God we trust.
smooth terrain, rough terrain, straightaways, hills. What does it all mean? Do you find it odd that it gets more challenging as you get closer to your destination? Right? The further along you get, the more tension life puts between you and the finish line. Almost like the universe is adamant about weeding out those who think they can escape high. What is the difference between saying you want it and really wanting it? Perhaps it's a willingness to fight through a storm just for the opportunity to find calm and serenity in its center. This morning, as the sun was coming up, I went for a run. A nice 5-mile run down the coast, and the way I planned it out was simple. 2.5 or halfway up in soft sand, and then I'd stop, and I'd turn around and I'd run 2.5 back, but on the harder surface, right? Easier to handle, almost like a reward for pushing myself on the way up. Right? and things were going perfectly. I made the 2.5-mile run up, and when it came to stop, and turn around, I realized what should have been obvious from the beginning. That hard surface coming back on instead. Softer than the way up, but I was running on a slope. I pushed myself hard going up the one. Almost felt like life pushed the finish line back 2.5 miles. As I'm writing this, it seems ridiculous to talk about, but in the moment, it was that was the carrot that I've been chasing the whole time. So I begrudgingly, moved forward, what to do, and ultimately just continued forward, and the emotion subsided, and as usual, big picture tells a different story. Different story means different perspective, and that's what I this idea of what do we expect to be flat ground? How is that my assumption to begin with? The easy to navigate. And the more I thought about it, I wondered if that's the very reason why we underperform. It's the little spark that ultimately lights this wildfire of regret.
Warm up.
Because when convenience is the standard, everything else becomes unfair. Everything else is a
Thank God
burden.
for another beautiful day to give us.
When the road should be
God's
flat,
good. Even on
what are we
Saturdays
making
and
hills
Sundays.
in our path?
Especially Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Thinking life should be easy provides oxygen.
Yeah, I'm
to
gonna attempt the impossible. That I ain't did it yet.
And sometimes it takes
Well,
these
I
little
did it before, but
experiences
it's the second
for me
time
to refocus
since I've been training for the last 6 months.
reality. The flat
Well,
ground
10
is not the
rounds.
standard. It is
Cleaned up my phone a little bit and got some
It's a
storage.
gift. It should be
so I can record
cherished and
the whole
appreciated because
10
guess
rounds
what?
on
Life
one
wasn't
video.
easy. It isn't easy,
This is
and it
warm-up.
never will be.
30-minute warm up.
But I believe
30
the
minutes an hour warm-up.
differentiator is knowing that. Right? So I kept running with feet sinking into the sand. I keep kicking just a little longer. Life didn't end. In fact, I think the mental aspect of it, I'm talking 5 miles here. It's about just moving forward, and like it's about 3 miles left. Right? The step became easier, and you're running. I felt like I was lying on a bed of feathers. Because when you prepare to face life's demons, when you're ready for battle, when you anticipate you'll have to give everything, any adversary that falls short of that feels like wind behind your back. We can endure anything. The question is whether or not we put ourselves in position. They don't define us. Heartbreak, it doesn't kill us. And criticism, it doesn't shape us. But I'll tell you what, the fear that they do stops a lot of people from becoming who they're capable of. Panicking at the slightest feeling of discomfort, moving away from anything but the convenience, when in reality, conveniences are the path. Ryan Holiday famously put it, the obstacle is the way. See, satisfaction, it doesn't even exist without a will to overcome. What meaning does a finish line have without miles of self-doubt and questions and fear and dread being slain? You prove to yourself over and over again, you know what? I am more. And I can be more. And the crazy thing is that there's not even a stop. This rocket propel as high into the ether as you choose to take. And look, it's not about running on sliding inclines or sinking a few inches into the sand. It's not about being rejected, losing, or castigated by 7 billion self-interested souls. No. to take the bridge of the next current and place into a recreation the known to the seemingly impossible. You are made so much more than you give yourself credit for. You are so much stronger than you think you are. So for yourself and for the world, capture that. Own it. And redefine what it means, not to simply exist, but to your core, with every ounce of your being, your soul, every fiber in your body, to truly live.
Oh, shit.
Welcome to this world. You have some big shoes to fill. People will tell you what to eat. Everyone will have an opinion. And yes, there will be tears. Lots of new introductions. Sleepless nights.
Okay.
So many new toys. It's not going to be easy, but together we got this. Kaiser Permanente. Thrive.
Oh, man.
Life is the manifestation of stories. Stories we tell ourselves about the world and our place within it. Rules that we've constructed and we respect and we adhere to. They dictate the outcomes we get and become our reality. Because to establish a parameter means at some point there's a line that we don't cross. And there are obvious lines that we don't cross. For example, our values. Because I know the repercussions are too much. It's not these are aware of these stuff. But I want to talk about the things we're writing about, realizing how we should be letting us sprint, but have no idea that there's heavy weight on our shoulders holding us down, and you can't take that weight off if you don't know it's there. And this all came to me a few months ago. I was in LA for the weekend. I went to some incredible another one a healthcare company, another one had a food distribution. I'm blown away. The priority was to listen, not run my mouth or fabricate or impress, but this type of result. I was listening to Alex Mayer, who created Zeus, talk about his upbringing. Right? He came to the U.S. as an immigrant from Iran and worked his way up from nothing. It's not like these folks were given the world, they took it. It took me about 3 minutes to find a commonality in their worldview. To me, it couldn't be more impossible. They don't look at us how I look. Or at how I think. See, the story of the silver wall, where I had moments of boldness, I pushed myself, I worked hard, but I looked at life in terms of what it would allow. Here's how things are. Okay, how can I stretch that? But that's like repainting or adding on to a house that was already built, right? There's only so much flexibility, so much you can do with that. But these guys are going around the table talking like this. They're talking about life like it's a game. You know, opportunity is an apple waiting to get from a tree right outside. There's no with a smile and Alex, who I mentioned earlier, sold Zeus, right, created MentorBox, and he loves beef. Eats it all the time, right? And so it's become his next entrepreneurial venture, a healthy beef. Every thought seems to revolve around helping take something new out of the world. His imagination is now driving his thought process, which drives his action. Not parameters, not someone else's reality. With this feeling I've never really had before. It's like someone tapped me on the shoulder and reminded me of the freedom contained in every single step. And not flexibility, but freedom. Like a weight had been lifted off of my shoulders. Who cares? That's part of this game we're playing. A game where reality isn't an obligation to be lived, it's an opportunity to be not about what you don't have. It's being grateful for everything that brought you right now. Because right now is a perpetual launching pad. You know, growth is learning. And that afternoon, I wanted to take life ways. To let imagination drive everything. Because the difference is some of us feel because we all lose. We don't want to succumb to fear and not meeting our potential. Like we fear being inadequate, falling short. We see obstacles. Some of us, we build to capture the beauty, the excitement. That makes the difference. And look, I'm not presenting you with all the answers, but I'm willing to bet that now, looking back, that simple understanding will look at the potential role in whatever comes next. Those rules changed, and so did the path. Let's not become so focused on each footstep that we lose sight of where they're collectively taking us. What are you building? Why are you here? To live by someone else's rules or to transform yourself and by default the world around you? See, reality is fluid, it's malleable, and the beauty is in that process of creating. A ship leaving the harbor has infinite possibility, unlimited potential, and that gives it its power. There's no right turn or wrong turn. The only way to lose is to stand still, to think that horizon in the distance is too far or not for you. See, a harbor is not a stopping point, it's a beginning. So take control over that world, push it, test it, see what it has to offer, throw your interests and your curiosities against the wall, see what sticks, see what ignites your soul, test the universe because life, it rewards the bold. Those courageous enough to step outside their front door and not follow, but design. Those who know things are the way they are simply because others before them had the courage to make it so. You defeated the 1 in 400 trillion odds against your birth. You navigated through your low points. You done enough to get to this very moment. With the mistakes that brought you here will become the wisdom that leads you that takes you to places you never thought. And where exactly that is entirely yours.
The Anthony's showing a lot more skin, so keep it fresh with our starchingly clean clean your teeth room, Cubby.
Like I said upstairs, it's been an amazing trip. So, last day, and, count.
Pose, pose.
Those who see what is not can transform all that is. The ones who dream see, for the quiet believer, it's not about talking. It's footsteps.
Holy.
It is the journey
Oh.
that tells the story. The quiet believers understand is the subtle line that separates truth and perception. Dancing into a beat means sometimes in this life, no one comes up, places a hand on your shoulder, and pronounces that your future is great. No one looks you in the eye and says they can see life will build, money will make, that doesn't happen until the next quiet believer. Real as the hand in front of you.
Oh.
No more road to travel. The sun is as real as it is when it rains. You're simply not always what they see. Stories that need to be transcribed from one's mind to the paper. They need a delivery mechanism. Quiet believers. They megaphone. So loud, the world can't help but listen because, ready or not, it will be shaped and reshaped every moment. They are the rivers that flew around in the night. Be courageously the feeling of that game-winning shot making its way through the basket after
Holy
school
shit.
in a North Carolina. An entrepreneur starting a bookstore in his garage, but seeing not books, but accessibility, time, a better way. See, the truth about life is some create it and some merely react to it. And well, you hold the pen. So away, quietly. Because you have a world to construct, mountains to climb, oceans to cross, and stories to tell. Quiet believer, today is yours. And those changes, they'll propel you. The naysayers will inspire you. The stars, they will guide you. Shining bright is a reminder that you are made of the very elements lighting your path. You are an architect. Not talking or explaining or promising, but simply showing, leading, earning Earning respect for yourself, attention from the masses, and a place in history. She's a quiet believer looking back. If you found the courage to change even one thing, you'll have been worth
Whew.
or because
Whew.
because somewhere you can feel it. You know that when it's we need to take shape, find our way, in which we think. See, beginning again simply means a new
Whew.
means the next adventure. It's places you've never gone, people you've never met. It's stories untold and dreams still waiting. There's no darkness in the you will never know the moment until it becomes one. And from that page on that chapter, nothing else. A temporary reminder that we are in the very moments we'll look back on and smile. It shines a spotlight on the people that we know and reassures us that the small stuff just might be. After all, life doesn't dwell on the heartbreak or the times we fell, but the times we got back up. The times we looked with confidence at the road ahead and smiled at the horizon as each fleeting moment is for the So here's the breathing in that ocean breeze, lapping until your stomach hurts. Here's to dreaming like there are no rules and living like there's no tomorrow. To creating your masterpiece, one word, one note, one brush stroke at a time. To dancing when the music isn't playing and sharing your song when it is. Here's to seeing the beauty when most walk right by. Being light in darkness and a voice in silence. Here's to living life on your terms, paving your own path and writing your own story. The one where the hero doesn't stop until the princess is saved and the castle is taken. The one where reality is a reflection of imagination. Because if you do these things, when you look back years from now, you'll have a lot to say. But I promise you, I wish won't be one of them. Not because of what you were given, but because of what you deserve. knees, my ankles,
Holy
my
shit.
back. But worse than that, worse than the physical pain is the fear of
Holy
what this
shit.
discomfort will be.
Oh.
Because if I'm suffering now,
Oh.
imagine
Ooh.
5, 10, or 20
Ooh.
miles from now. I can go 15 seconds. Anyone can go 15 seconds. But what if it becomes more than I can bear? See, nothing's scarier than the road ahead. It may just be what does me in. A horrible mouth. It will always be. Right foot, knee, or maybe I don't know, but lean left, adjust. Yeah, just like this, that alleviates the problem. At least for now, it alleviates the problem. I can move forward. I think it's the downhill. The downhill is pressure on the knee, she's pain towards the shin, so we'll slow down. Slow down. That's where we'll make our move. Slow down, fast, simple, less that pressure. 100% doable. Not pain in the stomach. Has anyone ever died from an upset stomach? Probably. Well, you probably not. You're not stuck, you're just scared. See, running while feeling nauseous never puts someone on the front page of the New York Times. What types of stories are you writing? No victims, not this is small, this is nothing, this is trivial. Thinking again, this is not complex. There's nothing to discover here. This is the easiest thing in the world. Just one foot in front of the other again and again. Guess how much thought that requires? You guessed it, bud. 0. Your foot matters not. Your knees have no relevance. Why are you creating one? Well, the sun, it's the sun. You're hot. Well, you can cry or get to the destination with a can. Stop rationalizing. Right now, and well, we can always handle right now. The wind isn't resistant, it's cooling off, and the sun is not a barrier. It's like discomfort is not an enemy, it's a passenger, and we're all going one way forward. Do not think about the road ahead. Count seconds, count breaths, preoccupy the mind, because the reality is that some point I will get to where I'm going. That is fast. And the only way to lose is to manufacture future monsters and bow down to them before I arrive. I can always defeat the now. I feel like the story that holds a pen, and once I arrive, only then will I enjoy the ending. See, I like every step in the journey has taken you here.
Oh.
Triumph, defeat, the ups and the downs. The times you went through hell because you knew at some point, at some time, it would be the difference, and now is that time. Someday is knocking at the door. People, they'll talk numbers. They'll speak in absolutes. They'll question your right to be here. Here is when most falter. When the fearful run and the timid hide. Will not. In fact, it's from these very improbabilities you will. Yes, you've tested, but you've proven you'll find a way, and you will feel pressure, but you know you're made to rise to the occasion. See that feeling in your chest, life coursing through your veins, it's your body coming to terms with what your brain is. You were put on this planet for a race. Now you sacrificed for now. Fought for now. You bled for right now. This is no coincidence. It's a coming out party. You for me to be constructed. You already brick by brick, day by day, night by night. It's not a time to rebuild. It's to be who you know you are. And if you can do that, if you can find the courage to do that, it will be more than enough. The night-fear warrior knows victory is not dependent on those looking at him across the battlefield. Their swords can't pierce what you've built. Their shields can't deflect the inevitable. This is your day. This is your time. The will that is within you, it's the preparation, the belief in the heart. Why you will rise. It's why normal does not apply to you. Because normal was a stepping stone along the way. Normal was the discipline to show up, the commitment to trust in the process. Normal was everything you wanted to take that easy road and didn't. And from those moments, from the normalcy of the day-to-day, from the very heart of the unspectacular, the extraordinary is born. From this process, you have emerged, chiseled from stone and prepared for anything this world will put in front of you. You'll find a way. Look, I'm not asking you to become something new. I'm reminding you who you know you already are.
Skin is so soft, baby. We made these soft too. Huggies, we got you.
Fall when you start, it's your responsibility to choose where you end up. A couple years ago, I was doing a half marathon on Cape Cod with my sister, and we were excited, and we planned it way in advance. And getting ready to go. I woke up that morning, and as fate would have it, absolutely terrible. And I did one of those things where I'm looking at the mirror and you're actually, why didn't I show my face off and just cheer it up and I'll go back. I don't want to go back. But we also did get there. And I've been going through checking in on myself every mile or so and realizing I feel oddly good right now. Like, spectacular, and I ended up finishing and doing way better than I've ever done ever. It was a personal best. And I started thinking, I almost didn't even do this. I almost stayed on the sideline. You know, how many times in my life did I almost do something? How many times did I pass up on something? How many times has someone here almost written what would have been a best-selling book? You know, the almost, as Monica said in her speech, what if she almost didn't go to the top of that mountain? What if Wade, didn't start that gym? This was maybe a yes or no, flash in the pan decision that changes the trajectory of your life. We all deal with these dark periods. They happen, but it's how you react to them, right? Are you going to let the situation take control, or are you going to take control of the situation? Chris Rock has a great story where he's talking about, if my car is broken down, standing there on the side of the road, people just go by me and they're frustrated. Like, I need help. And they think that, like you said, anytime I start pushing me, people do. They pull over and push. Like the world wants to help people who want to help people. That's how we are. Every situation is going to present you with possible. There's always that. That's your Even a dream is a limitation if it's made from the same components you used to build yesterday. What realities do I accept? What paradigms have I made my repackaging the same mistakes, the same underlying outcomes as progress? If the last chapter was on taking risks, does it make sense that the next one be about enjoying them? Not the occasional act of courage. That the enemy is the quiet divide between what I do and who I long to
Oh, shit.
An evolution into something as the bell rings, takes off. Just won't be brought up. Standing alone, not coming to still be reluctance and issues of time, my soul to keep, and I did. It's not hard to win. Once the test to forget those consistent spaces you, then act a routine. Do I want this or need it? Like I breathe, because the difficult thing is to treat building yourself in chapter like exactly what immersion beneath, because doing is great, but living brings a level of therapy. Life depends on the things that you do.
Yep. Good. Holy shit.
Unlimited cash back now.
Situation that we are in. We need to know the reason. We need to capture the why. Go and that nothing else is next. See, here's the deal. There is more in you to give. And every once in a while, you have a decision to make. Not because you owe it to anyone or because you're supposed to, but because your mind wonders what it would be like to look back on this moment and ask yourself, you give, and maybe it's one extra set of push-ups, maybe it's one more, maybe it's one phone call, one more hour in the studio. It is the little advantage, the one that you didn't have to do, and why would you? You could have easily walked out and left it on the floor just like everyone else. What if you dipped your toe in it? What if you left the rationality behind you with yesterday? Greatness requires out of the norm with less. When most would say no. Why? Because it hurts. More hurts. Being proud hurts. Greatness hurts. Oh, but the top. How good it feels. And see, this is the part where you think about one thing. This is the part of you waiting to be unchanged. It reveals self-found. Must be brought. See, that pain that you're feeling in the moment, it goes away. The body, it recovers. They're not in this equation. It's just you and the victory that will live with you for the rest of your life. The conquering of this moment. Again, our world, it is there is more in this world. Will you take it? Will you feel something now? That will stay with you forever. So why are you sitting down, having some thinking, relaxing, and walks up to the table across from you, pulls out the chair, sits down, kind of leans back, and then the other. Casually says, you probably don't have a significant in your life. Be outrageous, like that's really. Well, let's say that the next day, you get out, you go walk, run, work out, and he shows up again. Starts running next to you, casually reminding you that the odds of you changing, doing anything for the better are slim to none. This is kind of a waste of time for you. You brush it off, you go to work, and guess who? Right? He passes by your desk, leaves a little note saying, that your bosses, your higher-ups, they're cut from a different cloth. They just see things in a way you can't. You'd probably tell that person to take a long walk off a short pier, right? Or at the very least, you'd understand how absolutely insane the situation is. People can just walk up and talk to you like that. But now imagine that same person is you, living rent-free in your head, and here's the catch. You invited him in. You allowed the negativity and the doubt to live there. See, every time I think about that self-talk, I can't help but wonder, in a world of obstacles to navigate and challenges to tackle, why is it acceptable for your biggest obstacle to be you? Why should you allow or be okay with that? And I'm not saying everything's perfect all the time, every thought's pure bliss, but I am posing this question. If you don't believe in yourself, how do you expect anyone else to? If you're not your biggest ally, if you don't respect the person staring back at you in the mirror, how do you expect the world to? Why is our inclination to tense up and refute the negativity from others, but sit back and accept the same nonsense in our own heads? If those words don't support what you're trying to build, I don't care who they're from, where they come from, why they're there, they don't deserve your time. And it's a simple awareness that they are not truth, but merely your fears and your insecurities trying to stop you from becoming who you might be. My biggest leaps in life, they didn't come from physical milestones or benchmarks. They came from mental shifts, convincing myself, believing myself, trusting in myself. When the road is untraveled, when the story is untold, the positive and the negative are both make-believe. They are both fairy tales. They're options. They're theories. And guess what? You get to choose which option, which one will be yours. My favorite quote is, "You are always stronger than you think you are." Not so much because it reiterates how high the bar is, but because it reminds me how low we often set it for ourselves when we're not paying attention. How loud that negative voice can be. When I was unemployed, I was writing, I was running out of money. My life changed because I stopped seeing myself as some lost, jobless mess. And I started seeing myself as one of the greats with a hell